Cool. Here we go. Hey, what's up? This is Andrew Allen. We're gonna watch my Hockey 3 and AA Andrew Allen Hockey Edit. I don't remember what it was called, but and I'm gonna talk about it. Here I am back at LA High. I might have talked about that at one point in time. I guess it's kind of funny because Hockey 2 ended and my last trick was at LA High. And then we started this part out with like some LA High footage. They skate stopped it, like all the big banks outside and stuff. Somebody sent me a photo and I was just like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I'm done with that thing. But I've been back since. And then, like, I've filmed a couple things for that band's part, like on the white one, because it wasn't skate stopped. As of now, I have no desire to go there. This hippie jump slam is that was on our way leaving California on our way to Arizona. We were driving. It's only 2 hours outside LA, and that was the intro to the trip, just me eating shit. That's the only backside heel flip I've ever done in my entire life. Through the Vans video and stuff, we were always getting in the car and driving, most of the time just driving around looking at shit, getting kicked out. At some point in time, I kind of got really excited about the idea of like going skating kind of close to your house. So I started walking my dog and I would like just taking different streets. I found a bunch of things that way, and then within the past 5 years or so, I've been just kind of trying to find new stuff or different stuff. The closer it is to your house, kind of the better, because then it's like, I don't know, you just get to go home. The first person I ever saw do like a frontside 50-50 backside out early was Van Wastel. But he was doing that, like frontside grind, backside out, and then he was doing back 50s, frontside 180 out, pop out early, and I'd never really seen anybody do that. I'm sure somebody had, but popular tricks then were, like nollie crookie grinds or whatever, switchback tails. Van kind of just like, he was so ahead of skating and whatever his creative approach. I didn't grasp it at the time, but sure enough, then like when I came home, I was like, fuck, I gotta learn how to do that. It's funny, I've tried to do a backside tail slide, backside flip out probably more than any other trick, and I've never landed it. I'd never done that before either. That always feels pretty cool. There's a guest trick of Diego Todd. Before he actually got on hockey, his best friend was like a scooter guy, and I think maybe like one of his other buddies, like, I don't know if they rollerbladed or they did something. His crew's like not skating, you know what I mean? Like his buddy's like a scooter guy, so I always thought that was kind of rad. I'd never filmed one of those fakey big spin flips before. I was kind of trying to come up with some flat ground trick to do, so I could do this in a line, if you will. I don't know, I guess I kind of got lucky. That one I landed was decent. I'm always trying to do new stuff, but there's definitely a couple flip tricks in here that people probably never seen me do before and I haven't done since. I don't know who made that spot, but it's rumored to be right next to Eric Costin's house. I've never been to Costin's house, but that's just what somebody said when we were there. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of decided to try to do that nose manual, kind of like thinking like how Papalardo did that one. Yeah, the first day I went there, I just got annihilated. That day I think the first one that I put down, I rolled away from. You can kind of see it on my face too when I'm rolling away. I was just like, what the fuck? It just so happened that like I went back and filmed another thing there. So for the beginning of the Andrew Allen part, it kind of just made sense to start it from there and just keep it rolling, I think ultimately the whole goal of me continually going back to this spot was that I wanted to go down and switch. But both these times with the kickflip and the half cab flip, I probably went there and chickened out on the idea of going down and switch. In the new Vans part, I did the switch nose manual into it. So I kind of was able to finally get that years later, but I did this slappy nose slide, tail grab to board slide. I don't. It's kind of a silly trick, but I do that, and then I take I think like 9 pushes or something down the road. I think that was definitely kind of like what we liked about it was that yeah, you're just kind of like pushing, and then to what, and then like that thing.
And the skies are set to dance into the silence.
That spot had been there forever, and like at that same spot, you used to be able to go off one of them. There was like a flat bar. I think Zara did like this frontside crook to fakie on it, like dodged the pole. It was really sick. Honestly, I think people had already done like pop shove it, and kickflip. Like tricks had already been done over it, but people have absolutely destroyed that thing. It's insane the amount of tricks that have been done on that. But I did the switch ollie over it. I really liked that clip. It took me forever. Kind of felt like I was like surfing or something. I did the first one of those kind of as a joke, but then like it kind of felt cool. That nose grind rather.
The hall is filled, every corner by a team.
I done a couple other tricks there, like a kick flip into it, and then I did a backside flip into it. There's a crazy backstory behind that whole thing too, but I was trying to skate this other spot. I went there and like I cut these bushes out one day. The next day I was like, Benny, come down, like let's skate this spot. We went back and I went there one day and there was like these 2 dudes and their dog were like posted up. They were obviously like, you know, probably sketchy people. I had already had Benny coming down and I was like, I really want to skate this. Like I've been trying to skate it for months now, you know? The guy had like a shopping cart and he had like all this stuff laid out. And so I kind of went over there and I was like, hey man, like what's going on? You know, and like one of the guys was friendly and the other one was kind of a little bit weary of me. Like, was like, what is this fucking kid like trying to, young man rather, trying to come over and like talk to us, you know? The dog was fucking barking at me. So I started talking to him and I was like, fuck, maybe like I'll just bro down. They rolled up a joint and then they were like, hit this thing. And I was like, oh no, dude, like I'm good, you know? And they're like, are you? And it was like training day style.
Smoke it. Huh, this ain't a test, just take a hit.
I was like, no, like I really don't want to, you know? And then like, I was like, you guys want a beer or something? So like I went to the liquor store and like bought him a beer and then Benny came and showed up and was like, what the fuck is Andrew talking to these dudes for? Like came up and you could tell he was like super nervous and his pit bull was like tied up to like a fucking massive like tire. And then he was like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, I don't know. And then he's like, dude, like we got to get out of here. This is fucked up. So he had driven all the way down. He lived like an hour away from me and it started to rain. And I was like, I got to like film something to make his trip down here worth it. So we went over here. I don't know where this idea for a trick came from, but I was standing up there and thought maybe I could do a fakie varial flip down this little chute thing, thinking of the one Gino did at the Adams bump, of course. And yeah, I kind of did it. Got that silly hat on. I don't know. I wanted to film a switch 360 flip on something. I was like, fuck, man, like it'd be sick to go down that thing switch. And like, you know, everybody knows I've fallen going down some hill switch before. I think I got out of this one pretty good. I ruined my pants, but I didn't lose any skin. You can see me smiling at the end. I was happy. I guess like watching a part later, you can kind of like look back and like reflect on like what you were doing and or thinking at that moment in time, you know? Like I've never been into like repetition. When I skate, I don't really like to like train. I'll do a trick once and then never do it again, which is a good thing because I'm always mixing it up. But I guess on like a consistency level, like I'm very inconsistent because I don't practice things enough. You know what I mean? There's certain things I can do, but other shit, you're like, I've done this trick once, so like, let's try to film it. And it'll be like, take you fucking multiple days of doing it. And you're like, well, I don't know. I know I can do it, but like, I haven't actually like have all the like things together to make it work like that, you know? So you have to kind of relearn it. But I don't know. I think ultimately, like, I just want to like try to like do as much as I can within my time skating, you know? And it's like, you know, I know what it feels like to like kick flip down a gap or like switch flip down a 9 stair. I've felt that before, but like I don't really care to feel it again. And, you know, I can grind a pool or something, grind a death box, and just like all that shit. Like, just kind of feels cool to be able to do new stuff, and that's like kind of the way in my mind I'm progressing, if you will, and that's what's keeping me going.
Ring of lonely laughter blindly thrown across an endless arc string, and the skies are set to dance